They're having too much. This is early childhood. Oh, are we
Good day,
starting
good.
right now?
We are. Good day, good day. Welcome, welcome. I'm Jay, and this is Homeschool Your Kids podcast. And you see, we have a guest today, and it should be fun. Ron, introduce yourself.
I like that. It should be fun. My name is, well, we'll see. My name is Ron Schwali, and I have been working in early childhood since 2004. Started as a preschool karate teacher, and now I get to travel around with my beautiful wifey and do keynotes and trainings for every kind of early childhood organization there is: family, childcare, Head Start, center based, what have you. And then we've actually also been expanding out into other worlds of unschooling, world schooling, gyms. We did something for a Ninja Zone Academy for gymnastics, anywhere where there's really like preschool age kids that um, have gifts. That's where we like to help people.
Okay, and help people by how? What are we doing?
So I created a system. It's a behavior system called Behavior Mastery over the last 15 years. And it aligns with the way that the body is designed, as opposed to the old school way that, people would just yell at kids or bark orders or commands and then expect the kids to follow their instructions. It's basically the opposite of what is going on in traditional schools. We focus on auditory, visual, kinesthetic cues. It's all about fun. It's about being silly. Part one of behavior mastery is just how to get the kids' attention instead of Joey, Billy, Susie, one, two, three, eyes on me, everybody, like all this like stuff that you feel like in my body, like the voice, the tone changes. It's more about being right and dominating, and especially in the public school system where the teachers think that they know everything over the kids, where I have conversations with some 2-year young kids that'll blow your mind. So I like to be silly. I like to get the kids' attention just by going, and then all of a sudden I'll have 25, 30 kids just look at me, or another pattern interrupt. We do voices, we do accents. Hello, everybody. Hey, I grew up in Jersey, so if I want to get the kids' attention, I'm like, hey, how you doing? You want to get some coffee? And the kids are like looking at me like this, but I have their attention. So it's introducing people to a behavior system that works really beautifully. It aligns with the biggest behavior system out there called conscious discipline, and we give actual tools that you can use once you are able to open up your heart and understand that the kids are only displaying certain behaviors because there's a need. Some of these kids, there's a need to be seen. Some of these kids, there's a need to be heard. And we're not taught in early childhood. And I even got like a master's in early childhood just to see what the hoopla was about. And like, we're not taught to ask the kids, hey, who wants attention? And then some of the kids go, I want attention. And then they do something for 30 seconds and they're good for 3 hours. But if you don't do that, and these kids need to be seen and heard, they're going to spend the next 3 hours trying to figure out 20 kids in the classroom, two teachers. I need attention more than all these kids. What do I need to do? Let me try A, B, C, and D. So it really gives you an idea about what's going on in the kids' heads, what the kids need, and I try to get them to open up their hearts and also understand that their brain just talks at them. And just because you have a thought doesn't mean you have to take an action on that thought. And just because you have the thought, even weirder, doesn't mean it's right. It's just your brain saying words to you. Like a perfect example, when we were growing up, we were taught to do what? When a teacher's talking at us, we were taught to look where?
Look at them. I don't know. Uh, look at their eyes. Look to
Yeah,
the
yeah.
front.
Well, look at their when a teacher's you got it. When a teacher's talking to you, their programming, because we're all programmed, their programming is look at me in my eyes when I'm talking to you, because that is something. And if a child is not looking at a teacher in their eyes, then the child's being what? Give me two words that a teacher might say.
Disrespectful and
What else?
disobedient.
Okay, there you go.
Um,
Maybe rude. Beautiful. You got the top two. Disrespectful. Right. Now, So what's happening is their brain is saying words. They have been taught that when their brain says words, that's their conscious, there's this and that. You're supposed to, number one, agree with what your brain is saying because it's coming from inside you. And then for some reason, you're supposed to respond. And that is a trigger mechanism that creates absolute win-lose. When what's really happening, and this is only for people that are opening their hearts and interested in creating win-win in their classroom. Someone that's interested in win-lose, meaning just being right, and I'm the adult, and this is the child, blah, blah, they're going to tune out from this conversation. And that's totally fine because they're still hearing in the subconscious. But if you're playing in a world of win-win, what we want to do is we engage the kids in a way that connects with them. I guess that's the best way to say it. Like we say things to kids like "no, thank you," "no, thank you," and like, what does that do? Like if you got pulled over and a cop comes up to you and they knock on your window, license and registration, "no, thank you." Like, do you learn anything about what you did? No, you don't. And then they come back with 3 tickets. Here's 3 tickets. "No, thank you," and then they walk away. You didn't learn anything. The child didn't learn anything. So it's like choosing win-win is how you actually connect with the child on a more interesting level. You look at the child that's not looking at you, going back to that, my ADHD just took me off somewhere. But you look at the child that's not looking at you, and if your brain goes, they're being rude, they're being disrespectful, you can choose to take a breath. And there's a lot of different types of breathing I'd love to share. Fire breathing, cold breathing with you, but you can take a breath and then you can look at the child and you can ask your heart what you should do because the heart has its own intelligence system. The heart actually scientifically sends more messages to the brain than the brain does to the heart. So even if you look at a child and the child's just not looking at you. Look at me when I'm talking. The second somebody tells me to do something, I immediately want to do the opposite because my inner child goes, no. So as you tell a child, look at me when I'm talking to you. When the child starts looking at this, your brain starts talking. Oh, that child's being defiant. That child's being disrespectful. Because the brain just loves to do one thing and one thing only. It loves to be right. When you
Mm.
think that child's being disrespectful, boom, brain sends a message to the body sends a shot of dopamine into you. You feel a rush for 1 to 2 seconds. That child's being rude. Bam, brain sends a shot to the body gets a rush of dopamine. You're right. But here's the problem. All this happens in the brain. In reality, the child's not looking at you because the child's not looking at you. It's that simple. The child's not look. And if you want to stay and win, lose, and be right and not enjoy being with your kids over and over every single day, you can choose to be right totally. But what if you actually, for a moment, were open and in your heart, you asked your heart, what's going on with the child? Your heart might go, well, have you ever asked the child what the nationality of their family does? Because I know people that teach their kids to make eye contacts with adult is rude, is disrespectful, is all this. So you're telling a child to look at you when they're talking to you because your brain's making up stories. Their brain is saying words to them, and that kid doesn't know what's going on. So that's part of the education that we do around the country is to have people, in addition to learning our behavior system, it's also behavior mastery of yourself. And if you can just realize every time you say, what did I tell you? What did we just talk about? Why do I have to repeat yourself? And whenever you feel your face like that, and whenever you feel your heart close and your brain just being right, you get to choose to be a human being. Take a breath, maybe connect with your heart and go, I don't need this dopamine. This child is crushed in front of me. Why am I doing this? And then you go into self discovery and you may actually have a conversation with somebody about it. I don't know why I get triggered and get angry at these kids. And then you may realize it's because you want to yell at your kids at home, but for some reason you don't do it. And who knows where that displacement comes? You never know. So that's other things. I like to coach people. When we do trainings, we do like 3 hours, but we take frequent breaks because we do a stretching and moving and breathing. And they come up to me and I offer coaching all the time. Anybody that wants to get on a call with me after this, 100% email me. I'll spend 20, 30 minutes with you on the phone or Zoom for absolutely free. Most likely, I'll probably be playing a video game because my ADHD needs to be focused on something else. But the words that I say to you while I'm coaching you, or maybe I'm taking a walk, will totally give you access for you to make a choice that empowers you, creates win-win in your world, and opens up your heart, especially if you were a teacher that used to be, I can't wait to see my kids, and now it's, I can't wait till it's 6 o'clock. And if that's where they're at, then there's a shift. If you're someone that works with your kids and you're teaching them all the time, and you're using all these other resources, and for some reason, even as a parent, you're getting upset because of words that are happening, just consider asking your heart what to do. Whatever world you're in, if you world school, if you've unschooled your kids, if you go to micro schools, whatever it is, notice whenever your brain says things that don't benefit you, and take a breath and ask your heart what to do. And sometimes even like, have you personally ever made a decision with your gut?
Um, I would say yeah. Like I
Okay.
feel like that's a bit of an intuition thing also.
Yeah, and that's from your body. So you
Yeah.
can make decisions with your intuition. You can make decisions with your heart. You can make decisions with your brain. But the thing is that not a lot of people know that, or they're very versed in it. But once you actually really start making decisions with your heart and notice when your brain is just trying to get you upset, life becomes wonderful. I'll take a breath because I know this is supposed to be a back and forth, but I just sometimes just get going.
No, you're fine, love. So,
Okay.
okay, so this is intended for adults, not the children.
Behavior mastery
Hmm.
is a program designed for the adults to work with the children. We have something else called Yogarati, which is a blend of yoga and martial arts that when I lived in New Jersey, I ran an enrichment company. We were in like 40, 50 different preschools, daycares, family child cares, all these different things there. And then when I moved down to Florida before the pandemic, we started teaching at a preschool about maybe 10 minutes away. And all the techniques that we use are in the video. So there's videos that I showed during my workshops, and most of them are the ones of the kids. Like I just loaded one about 3 weeks ago. This 2-year young child, Sienna, tested me. It was so stinking cute. You can even see my response, but part 5 of behavior mastery, if I'm jumping all the way, is called fast forward testing. There's kids that are just smarter, quicker, faster, sharper. They're going to test anything that you say. I'm going to call your mother. This kid's going to go, "What's her number?" And when you're just like, "Well, I first have to look it up," and then the kid's like, "No, you're done." So what I do with fast forward testing is I say, "Look, if you do this behavior, then here's your consequence. And here's the fast forward testing. And if you don't believe me, do the behavior right now and I'll show you." Like I want to get it done with. And this girl is we're doing yoga outside. She's spinning around. She's 2 years young. And she's just spinning in circles, spinning in circles, spinning in circles. Normally, like my brain automatically said, I got to stop her from spinning in circles. I got to keep her safe. I don't listen to that because I was a pro wrestler for 13 years. I did martial arts gymnastics. I jumped off the top. All she doing is spinning around. So my brain goes, "We should stop her." My heart goes, "Let her keep spinning around. She needs to spin around." So I let her just keep spinning around. It's called fast forward testing on my YouTube channel. She's spinning, spinning, spinning. And then finally, after she stops, she spins the other way. It's so cute to watch. And then she falls on somebody. So once she falls on somebody, I'm like, okay, that I'm done. Especially because the kid that she fell on is super sensitive. So I know he could lose it at any moment. And I know why he's super sensitive because the parents are super sensitive and they're lawnmower parents. Do you know what a lawnmower parent is?
No, let me hear it.
You've heard of helicopter parents?
Yeah.
So helicopter parents hover around. Lawnmower parents, they mow down every obstacle that the child ever has so that they don't get uncomfortable, they don't get upset, because what's happening is when their child is challenged and triggered by something, their inner child is challenged. When the child's
Mm.
upset, they get upset. They want to shut the child down so that they're not upset. They don't realize all this stuff is going, and literally you're just teaching a kid that's going to be 40 living in your basement playing video games without doing anything ever. Mom, mom, Cut the corners off the peanut butter jelly. So homeschool your kids and then get them out. Actually, you don't have to. That's just a society thing. I really think
Yes,
that's a
it
whole big
is.
society thing to separate families and tell people they have to leave the house and do this and do that. You don't have to. Stay as long as you have a loving environment wherever you're at, you're good to go. But anyway, the fast
Indeed.
forward testing. So then this girl, she's so stinking cute. I tell her, if you're gonna spin around again, if you don't believe me, spin around again. She's laying on the ground. She gets up, puts her hand on her chin, and then does one spin. Oh, I told her just did behavior master training a couple days ago, a virtual one, and I showed it at the end, and everybody loves it, and I'm just like, it's so stinking cute. Now you're going inside, and then I finished the video. It's a 3-part video. The third part is when she does something again to test me. By the way, I love these kids. The kids that test and push buttons and are oppositional and don't conform and don't blah 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 blah. They're great, and they're the ones that are going to survive best in a homeschool environment, or go to Elon school, or go to Kind Academy, or go to this, or go to that, or go to whatever, because these kids aren't going to survive because they're going to be like me, staring out the window, 3rd grade, 4th grade. Why do I have to learn this? This doesn't make sense. This is stupid. When am I going to ever stop? Blah, 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 blah. And it's all like the education. So I don't like that. I like educing, EDUCE, to draw out of people, draw out of the kids. What do you want to do? I have more time conversations with the kids and I'm actually trying to teach them stuff. But at the end of the video, it's a 3-part video. At the end, Sienna tries to test me again by taking this little poly spot and just by moving it really close to me. And we're only like 7 or 8 kids. And I look at Sienna. I'm like, Sienna, do you remember last week when you were testing me? I'm like, wasn't it funny? She's like, uh-huh. I'm like, do you think that I'm going to let you, whatever it was. I'm like, are you testing me again? Do you want to go back inside? Because I really want you to stay. She's like, no. I'm like, okay. I'm like, listen. And then I squatted down to her. Listen, here, you follow all my rules and I'll let you be a leader, blah, blah, blah. When you go inside with your teachers, you can test them as much as you want, okay? She goes, uh-huh. And I look at the camera and wink like I'm in the office, and then the video shuts off. But I'm just like, listen, this kid's so smart. She's brilliant. But if you're an adult that has one of these super genius, brilliant, neurodiverse kids that they talk so much about something and they're high energy, if you want to create a loving win-win world, it's about asking them what they want to do, and sometimes just sitting there and listening to those kids talk, and then noticing when your brain says blah 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 blah. Like, I show videos of this one kid, DJ Fresh. His name is Arch Jr. He's the youngest Got Talent winner on the planet. At 3 years young, he won South Africa's Got Talent. And then I show the video and the whole place goes up and he gets the golden buzzer. And then I ask people, what does your voice tell you if your 3-year young kid said, I want to be a DJ? Does it say, what's a DJ? Tell me about being a DJ. Let me learn about being a DJ. Or does it do what somebody at a conference like a year ago? You can't make money being a DJ. I'm like, miss, respectfully, you have no idea what you're talking about. But then after we have and I'm like that, I don't care. But what we end up after, but now it was win-lose right there. I shut her down. You have no idea what you're talking about, and it was over. But then I'm like, okay, let's create win-win. How do we have a we talk about it? Her brain, a DJ, is just Shmuley Feinstein who's doing somebody's bar mitzvah or doing somebody's quinceanera or whatever. She doesn't understand. When I say DJ, I mean Dead Mouse. I mean the Marshmallow. I mean these guys are, and they're mixing 2 different types of things, and there's thousands and thousands of people in front of them. And that's the response that this 3-year young child is getting from South Africa's Got Talent. So if you're an adult that has a kid that has a vision or a passion or something, listen to your brain lie to you and say they're not going to make money. Also, too, is how many people have been taught. I was taught growing up, if you can't make money doing it, there's no point. And then you push aside this hobby, this passion, this, and that. Oh, and it's all just programming from people that come from scarcity and from trauma, and they just want you to be safe. My parents were born in Israel. I was born in Israel. There's constant threat there everywhere. 2 generations before that, we all know what happened, with all the evil stuff that went there. So everything about them is stay safe, 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 safe. My mother's still waiting for me to get a real job.
You're always the mind boat. Like, you got all those degrees and you do nothing with them. Okay, you're right. Oh my, that's yes, you have shared a lot to think about in regards to your, I guess, your reception of a child. Like that's what it's about, like how you're receiving a young person and what they're doing, and making sure that you're not the dream killer that a lot of people don't intentionally always strive to be, but are.
Don't be a guidance counselor. Don't be a dream killer. It's exactly what they are. You know, that's exactly what they are. Nobody, I've never met anybody that's ever been, I want to be a guidance counselor when I grew up. No, you didn't pursue your dream. Somebody shamed you into not following something. So then you decide to be the one that toes the line, whatever, and just gets, what do you want to be? Great. How about college? What do you want to be? Designer? Great. College. What do you want to be? Race car driver? Great. College. What do you want to be? Pro wrestler? Great. College. And the programming. When I told my guidance counselor, I just want to be a pro wrestler. At 13 years young, I saw Hulk Hogan being interviewed by Mean Gene Okerlund and went, I don't know what that is, but I want to be part of it. And then I started, it's entertainment, it's improv, it's big, it's blah, blah, blah. I'm like 340 pounds, 6 foot. I still go and help at this wrestling school 20 minutes away from me because I'm so passionate about this pro wrestling world, which I also do my keynotes, all action and blah, blah, blah. But this guy's sitting there. I did gymnastics, I did martial arts, I was weight training, everything just so right out of high school, I can go be a pro wrestler. And my mother helped me tremendously by telling me, you can't do it. And I'm not going to push you around in a wheelchair for the rest of your life. So my brain goes, I'll show you. And then I went wrestling for 13 years. The dream killer tried to get me to go to college. He's like, don't you want to go to business school? I'm like, have you been talking with my mom? And he's like, no, but I saw every micro expression in his face twinge. I'm like, okay, I don't trust you either. I mean, and that's the thing too. That's another good thing for parents. Listen, um, I think I've seen enough statistics showing that colleges actually look for people that are more homeschooled as opposed to the regular robots that are designed in the what is it, the industrial cubicle prison. I'm sorry, public school. But I was watching. There was a show on a couple of months ago on Netflix. What's the girl from the Addams Family? Wednesday or something like that? Yeah, Wednesday. And she was walking through school, and she's like, "Isn't this like a prison?" And the guy's like, "It's not like a walking, but isn't it like a prison?" Like, it's not like a prison. And then she's like, "Can I leave?" And he looks at her and is like, "Well, no." And it's so it's tremendous. Uh so my request of parents is that if your child is exceptional or they have gifts, look for people with gifts to help them. Watch Young Sheldon and notice the guy from Princess Bride. I don't inconceivable, whatever his name is. He's a brilliant scientist. If your kids are so much smarter than you, it's okay. I know your brain's like, but if your kids are so much smarter than you, then get them in front of smarter people and help them with their vision. And it's okay that we're dumber than our kids. It's fine. I'm going to be dumber than my kids. I expect my kids just the stuff that they have and the information. But notice when your brain turns on and you don't automatically feel that oppositional part of you supporting it. Because the problem is, as human beings, we're designed to be oppositional. If I say up, you say
down.
if I say left, you say
Right.
if I say
I have to
stop, you
think
say
about it. Go.
yeah. You think about it, but then you still do the oppositional. If you go to a store and the person comes up to you says, "Can I help you find something?" You go,
Yes.
okay, well, but that's beautiful. And I love it because you thought for a
What?
moment
I've
and you
been
said
looking for
yes.
you. Yeah. No.
Yeah, but how many other people are like, no, I'm good, and then they're at the super Walmart going, I guess I'm taking the rest of the day off. I need a map to whatever. But it's like people, their brain just turns on instead of just like listening to your kids and supporting them, doing whatever it was. I've had conversations with parents that I saved the kid from going to college because he thought that was the only way he can work on cars and work on NASCAR. And I said, no, you just go on Instagram and go on this. The kid's 15. He's a genius. He was bullied at school. And you just reach out to every NASCAR person and you talk about this and you talk about that. And he started blowing people up. And by the time he's out of high school, he already had an invitation to go down to, it was Georgia. There's a NASCAR college that's connected with them. And this guy's going to create space NASCAR ships and stuff like that. But the problem is that we think we know what's best for our kids, or we think we know what job they should have. But the jobs that they're going to have, if you have a 5-year young kid, you don't know what's going to be out there in 15 years. You have absolutely no idea. Here's my parenting workshop. 2 things. Say to your kids, I love you. How can I support you? Over. Done. That's it. And also pay attention to where your feet are. If you're a homeschool parent, your feet are probably with your kids instead of in an office somewhere, blah, blah, this and that. So it's like, that's why, it's a beautiful thing to figure out how to connect with your kids on a level where they can just absolute school you. And noticing your stuck programming, noticing if your program is like, well, this is my, I know people that they did a generational break of 4 generations of their family running a laundromat. And this kid was playing hockey on the side, hiding it from his parents because his role was going to be go to college to run the laundromat because that somehow makes sense. And then she did this amazing course that I did. I did this course in 2001 called the Landmark Forum. Started me on my, and they don't advertise. You can do this all over the planet. It's amazing. But it started my journey and opening up my brain to realizing all the BS that this is saying. And there's a lot of other stuff going on in the background. And that had me realize that there's other possibilities other than what we say is the regular, the old school way of go to high school, the preschool to, it's either preschool to college or preschool to prison pipeline, and then blah, blah, this and that. And it all started when my brain learned that even if you claim bankruptcy, the only debt you can't get rid of is college debt. And I went, huh. And that just started. And then I'm just like, wait, you won't let an 18-year young child get $100,000 mortgage, but you'll let him get $100,000 college debt. And then I started really learning more about all the BS and the indoctrination, and this all comes from the 1940s and the pipe and all this robotic stuff. And I'm just like, oh, so I wasn't nuts in school, getting kicked out of school, getting into fights, being bored. I'm just not designed for robot. I'm not
Yeah, I
designed
was
to
gonna
be.
say you're just one that wasn't successfully programmed.
Oh yeah, no, you can't. I mean, I'm programmed other ways. I hear ba da ba ba ba. I think of McDonald's, even though it's disgusting. It's not even real food, and there's still people that like here. People, enjoy your brain. If you give your kids McDonald's, you're choosing to give them poison and food that's not real, because there's tons of videos out there about McDonald's burgers and the buns that have sat on shelves for months and they don't rot. It's not real food. So now you get to make a choice. Here's a little example. Here's a test for you. Next time you want to get your kids fast food or McDonald's or whatever, this and that, you're choosing to make a decision with your brain and you're choosing not to make a decision with your heart. Here's the other part. I'm going to ruin this podcast for other people too. There's already a bunch of studies out there saying that the more screen time you give your kids, the more developmentally they're not. So you are choosing to developmentally destroy their brains if you're not choosing to find another way to have these kids be engaged other than to hand them a screen. And it's totally fine. It's up to you. Just 20, 30, 40
It's
years
up
from
to
now,
you.
regret is going to suck when your kid is just, I don't know, just sucking on a lollipop or something, running around in circles because their brain has given, and they need dopamine every 5 seconds because you're giving the kids like that. I see babies swiping and scrolling, and I look at them, I'm like,
It's a lot. It's definitely a
oh
lot.
yeah, you get me worked
But
up.
no. Oh, I feel like you're touching on some great things. And it's funny, I just had a little McDonald conversation the other day. I haven't had McDonald's since I was 12. And of course, I didn't introduce it to my children. But it
now
just astounds
now
me that people do because of, like you said, they're like nowadays, there's so many. I haven't ate McDonald's since I was 12 because of my experience with McDonald's. I was obviously eating it at that time. But
Even the
I had
Sundays,
a
you never had I'll be honest.
no.
I will get a Sunday with caramel on it once in a while from McDonald's, but I don't even know what that is.
No, I'll go get their 50-cent ice cream cones for my girls, but
Yeah,
that's as much
yeah,
as McDonald's that they've had. I wouldn't do
yeah.
the meat and I wouldn't do the fries.
There's
However,
so much better food out there. That's
yeah,
so
there's
cheap.
a lot of choices, and it bothers me when they when they don't want to
It's
choose like
amazing. Like
good foods. Like once I get my food, they're like, "Oh, shucks, I could have chose that." Yeah, like when I ask you what you want to eat, like give me
you know
something
what? You
better.
know, one thing that's great about traveling around the country and doing what we do is going somewhere, going on Yelp, and typing in 5 stars and $1 sign. So you always
Oh,
find the hole in the ground, Mama's Jamaican beef patty, amazing things where you're eating this or that. Or I mean, I've gone to some places that I'm like, are you sure this? It's just a little restaurant. There's 4 people outside, and I have housed like 50 pieces of oxtail because it's like you have, especially on Louisiana. There's so many places, and it's just because I'm always open to new things, and like every time I see a chain place, I'm like that. If I, but on the other end of it, if you can't find a good like mom and pop whatever, Longhorn, they don't fail on those steaks. I'll tell you that.
Longhorn, yes. Yeah, no, I love because we do a lot of travel ourselves also. But I've started associating places with certain food. Like, oh, I know that when we get here, I'm getting this. Like, I love
Yeah,
this. But yeah,
yeah.
I'm a big Google person too. I look at the maps and I look at their menus. Like I'm a time like research. Let me find because I'm gonna eat me some good stuff here. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, Google. I used to do Yelp, and I'm 12 years more on this planet than my wife. So she does the Google reviews. And no, sorry, I lied. I'm sorry. I also do the Google. She's smarter. She goes, see, the younger people are, the smarter they are. Sometimes. Well, I'm changing that right now. I didn't say that. But she goes on Instagram, and instead of just seeing the pictures that the restaurant posted, she looks at the pictures that the people posted.
Mm,
And I go, oh. And that's led us to some better places. The pictures there are more authentic.
yeah. No, I love food. Yeah. Yeah. Got a little sidetracked, but I
Whatever.
love all the shit you're
Everyone's got to eat.
doing. Please and please eat good. With the behavior mastery, where did this come from? Like, how did you get into this?
I started as a karate teacher at a dojo. I learned how to work with preschool kids all the way up to adults. I just loved working with the preschool kids because they're just so much fun and silly and more aligned with my personality. And then I was doing a karate birthday party as a side gig because I was personal training. I was going to college, and pro wrestling, teaching at a karate school. A director of a preschool saw me do it and saw me work with the kids. And to work with preschool age kids, you need to have a lot of patience and just literally just calmness. You have to just I don't now you have to. You get to look at these kids and appreciate they're just puppies. That's it. There's puppies that are new to the planet that are going to ask why. Like how many? I ask people like, don't you get annoyed when your kids like why? I'm like, yeah. Now think about it this way. How young is your child? 3. How long have they had language? 2 years. Yeah, they're new to the planet and you've been here for decades. Wouldn't you have a lot of questions? And there's like, oh, I never think of that. So I walk into a preschool and a kid like me, I tell him what to do, and he's like, no, and he starts running around the circle like that. So I felt my oppositional programmed NPC teacher myself go, oh, this child should pay attention because I'm a karate teacher and I'm taller and I'm this and I have a degree, all this BS, and the kid's still running around the circle. Then my heart went, oh, he's like you, and I went, oh, and that's it. It was that little click over. I went, got it. So what's going to get my attention? Billy, Joey, Susie. When my mom would call my name, the louder she would call it, the more I'd ignore her. So I'm like, meow. Arf. If you're happy and so that's pattern interrupts, part one. If you're happy and you know it, sing songs, do accents, whatever it is. And when I lived in Jersey, once a month I would go to for about 4 years. This place at Rutgers University called the Douglas Developmental Disability Center. You don't have to say that three times. And it was highly autistic children, ages 2 all the way up to adult, and they were teaching people how to work one-on-one with them. And the best pattern interrupt that we had was humming, because like I've been a Reiki practitioner, energy work for 15 years. We're constantly vibrating. You want to calm your body down, and this is where the brain's going to start talking at some people, going, "This is weird," but you can just give up being right, and you can have the rest of your life be happy. Like literally, I'm going to say that again. You can give up being right about what your brain says, and from this point on, choose to live a life of being happiness. I know if your brain's going, no, 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 but whatever. So I start teaching. I now have to figure out ways how to get the kids to do what I want them to do without giving instructions. The second somebody tells me to do something, my brain's go, "What am I not doing?" So then I created pre-frames, which are just auditory, visual movements that I learned from a sales program called neurolinguistic programming, and it's basically auditory, visual, kinesthetic cues. So now instead of do this, do this, do that, I go, do I want you sitting crisscross at the rug, or do I want you washing your hands for snack? And then auditory, visual, kinesthetic cues, the kids pick up on everything. And then you get to the kid that's like me, which are the ones that just like to tell the wrong answer on purpose. So if you have a parent that's going to their kids, do I want you still watching TV, or do I want you washing your hands for dinner? And the kid, all they want to do is go, "You want me still playing?" And their brain goes, "Now make the face." Because there's some kids that are just, they love performance. And we have over 200 muscles in our face. And every single time we have a micro expression, even if you're trying to hold it, if one of your kids said, like when your kid dropped the F bomb in front of you for the first time and your heart laughed, but then your brain sabotaged it because it's like, "Oh, how can you?" You know, it was funny. You know, watch the Modern Family episode where Lily just drops the F bomb. It's hysterical. But your brain goes, "Oh, they're not supposed to. That's not appropriate." And your heart just shuts off your happiness. So I developed this thing called the power look, which I kind of got it from watching a show about 15 years ago on Fox called Lie to Me, which Tim Roth, who played Reservoir Dogs, he was in one of the Bad Hulk movies, great actor. And he played a guy, Dr. Cal Lightman, and he was a lie detection specialist. And what he would do is he would stare at people like this while talking to them and then watch their micro expressions. So if they told a lie and they got away with it, you would just get a little thing like that if you wanted to say something but you didn't. If all of a sudden someone catches you in a lie, your eyes just might go a little open. These are all different things that so it's all based on the study of this guy, Dr. Paul Ekman, Ekman. I saw it at the end of the show. I studied all the stuff. I'm like, I got to get rid of my micro expressions. So I created the power look, which is basically, instead of looking, I'm like, if I look at their eyes, they're stinking cute. Like even the ugly looking kids are still stinking cute a little bit. So you gotta see, your heart laughs. Good for you. But some people's brains, the children, stop.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
no,
so
my brain
serious.
never outweighs the laughter.
What's that?
I said my brain never outweighs the laughter. So I have to
Good,
apologize
good.
for it later.
Yeah, just apologize, lie, and say you're sorry, like the kids are taught. Just like when you get pulled over, "I'm sorry." No, it's "I'm sorry. I got to speed now even more to make up the 10 minutes that you just wasted my time because you got a quota because you thought that you being a cop was going to be about this and that, whatever. And now all you're doing is writing tickets for 25 years and telling people go like this, and you hate your life, so you got to pull people over. What? Nothing. Anyway, so speaking of donuts, anyway, that was it. Oh, good for you for getting that joke. So the power look is basically this.
Mm.
And what I'm doing is I'm looking over the camera. See, right now I'm looking up here, and the camera's right here. When you do the power look, you look at the top of the child's forehead, and then I teach people to hum or sing "Row, row, row your boat" to yourself. So your own inner dialogue and your brain doesn't kick on. This isn't going to work. This is the new kid. He's not going to buy it, blah, blah, blah. So I just go, so the first three parts of behavior mastery are like meow. All the kids look at you. The kids look at you, whatever. If you're happy and clap your hands, the kids look at you. Doesn't matter. You have their attention for 1 to 2 seconds. Second thing you do, I like the way that you're cleaning up for dinner. I like the way that you're putting your toys away. Do I want you to still play with your toys? Or do I want you to put your toys away? So auditory, kinesthetic, visual cues. And then when the kid's doing something that you don't want them to do, whether they're being intentionally oppositional, which is like, again, I love kids like that because I don't want kids to conform, but 90% will anyway. Then you just go, do I want you still playing with your toys or do I want you cleaning up? And now, if you're in a micro school, if you're in a mini pod or something like that, you have 4 other kids, you can go, great job cleaning up. You're doing such, and then the kid, but this is the thing, it's the kid's dopamine goes, what happened? I'm not getting the, oh, you better, oh. I show a video of this kid, Liam. He's 3 years young, and this kid got a teacher fired with my help because she was mean. And he just loved to have her face get so red that she would get what I call the Harry Potter vein. It was a vein that kind of looked like the tattoo, the little scar that Harry, I don't, are you the Harry Potter? He's got a little scar. So he's got a little
Yeah.
scar that looks like a lightning bolt. So he would make
Mm.
her so upset. Correction. It's impossible to make another human being a certain way. Change that. I'm going to say it back. She would choose to get so upset at him based on the expectations that her brain was creating for him, which has nothing to do with reality. And he would just sit there like this. Well, you're so disrespectful. You're so this. Wait till I tell your mother. His mother knew how smart he was. She didn't care. This lady was mean. So I just told him, Liam, go around by the director and run by the director's office while she's mad at you. And then he did that, and she was screaming at him. And the director came out like, "What's going on?" "Oh, nothing." And I looked at her, I'm like that, and then I told her what happened also with the other incident, and the director fired her. Me and Liam like high five. We went out for a chocolate milk. It was awesome. So, but anyway, we I did fast forward testing. That's part 5, really to challenge the kids. But here's the most important part. We talked about that DJ Ertz Jr. kid that just he did a DJ show. There's kids that just have amazing passions. They're incredible. I love America's Got Talent. I'm now watching the America's Got Talent one where Mel B came back and now it's competitions against them and it's incredible. Some of these people, like I'm sit there, every America's Got Talent or British Got Talent, whatever, I'm crying with my wife and we're sitting there tears because in 90 seconds or in 3 minutes, these people that would have been lost in the public school system or lost in the, you have to go to school and you need something to fall back on and you need a degree. They're free. And they're free and they're like that. You're on the road, you're being homeschooled because you have a tutor or whatever that thing is. So what I teach is number 4 in behavior mastery called unique positive reinforcer. And basically whatever your kid talks about all the time, give them a show. Give them an opportunity. Most kids, you ask them what's their favorite dinosaur, what do you think they say?
I don't know.
What
Receptor.
pops up?
But I'm thinking Tyrannosaurus, like
Okay, boom,
receptor
yeah.
thingy or something. I don't
So
know, like the
usually,
one that flies.
okay, so I've heard pterodactyl, but usually
Yeah.
you hit it. You hit it spot on. You said the but usually they say T-Rex. But
Mm.
then if you ask me as a little kid, I would say, do you mean omnivore, herbivore, or carnivore? Do you mean the flying pterodactyl, the 4-legged long neck one like the Brachiosaurus, the Brontosaurus, the Tyrannosaurus Rex, the smaller cousin called the Allosaurus, the smaller one with the ones called the Velociraptor? Do you mean the one with the spikes on their back called the
Velociraptor,
Stegosaurus?
that's what I was thinking
There you
about
go,
too.
Velociraptor. That's the one people know because in Jurassic Park. And so I knew about dinosaurs. Nobody cared. My parents never asked me whatever. I could have been a paleontologist or whatever. So if you would have given me, so I was resistant, oppositional, throwing stuff, being bored, telling jokes. I mean, we're talking first grade. Started telling. If you would have said to me what a teacher said to Adam Sandler, one time a teacher said after he was being a goofball, I got to teach my class. I know you don't care, but if I give you a seat in the back and you spend Monday through Thursday writing material, the last 15 minutes of Friday's class, I'll let you come up and do some routine, whatever you want. That kind of worked out for him. So it was
That's
a teacher
awesome.
that it's a teacher that just realized it ain't going to work. So I say, give the kids their dinosaur show, their NASCAR show. If they love talking about themselves, give them their own show. They could be president. Remember how we used to say years ago, you could be president, and that was a big thing, and that was wonderful and amazing. And now it's just like, oh, well, anybody could be a clown. you know, and you don't even have to know who I'm talking about, what I'm talking about, where I'm talking about. They're literally like, it's so funny how 25 years ago, I could be president. It's like, well, I mean, anybody can be president. You literally can. Anybody could be governor. I mean, who knows what you're doing? I could be the governor. That doesn't matter. Yeah.
Well, you found your passion.
I learned in one of those landmark courses. I'm telling you, want to change your life. To spend 3 days, $800, and now how many of you? I said 3 days and $800. Your brain just went $800. Blah, 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 blah. But you got into debt for tens of thousands and took classes that you never knew had anything to do with your degree, and you took biology and anthropology in your business degree because some person told you to, but you won't take a class that'll take 3 days and spend $800 to totally transform your life. I almost didn't take that landmark forum because what stops you from taking the seminar is what stops you in life. And I almost stopped it because of money. But luckily, I had somebody who took a stand for me, and it was only 400 when I did it. But what was I talking about?
Your passion.
What's that?
Your
Oh,
passion.
passion.
Finding your
Thank
passion.
you. So I did psychic surgery, and I had a net in my brain that it would think words, the words would get caught, and then I would spend time. Should I say it? Am I going to offend somebody? I don't know. What are they going to think? And that just destroyed my self-expression. 100%, absolutely. And I would doubt myself always because I cared about what other people thought, because there was a program called control in my brain that I've gotten rid of, because you can't control anything, including your own thoughts. Anybody tries to control anything, let that go and be happy. Let it go. And basically, I cut out that psychic net and I installed a slide. So my brain thinks words, it goes on the slide. The slide ends here. So anything that I think, it comes right out of my mouth. And then I go, oh, and then I get to experience other people's responses and reaction to it, because I'm very clear that I understand reality, which is challenging, which is that another program that we've been programmed is that we can make other people feel a certain way. And I see it in preschools when the teacher goes, tell Billy how he made you feel. Jennifer, you called her a poopy head. Tell Stacy how you made her feel. And I'm sitting there going, but that's not happening. But what's happening is these teachers and everyone, and if you're a parent at home that uses that empathy against your child, you're choosing win-lose and you're programming them to be a victim. And let your brain just try to be right for a second. And then if you like anything else I've said, go back to your heart and just consider, whenever you say to a child, tell him how he made you feel, you're teaching this child other people have control over your emotions. You can watch TV and videos, and all you see is he made me mad, she made me jealous, he made me upset. You embarrassed me. I love watching Abbott Elementary with my love, because it's such a spot on how horrible public schools are and all that stuff. And it's just so funny. This one teacher who I love her because she was on this show years ago on a diner show, whatever, that I used to love. But she's like, I was offended, and you embarrassed me, and that's great to be right, get dopamine, make someone all wrong, and be a victim, and that gives you no power at all. Or you can really just and here's something to consider. By the way, it's like, I'm not being right about this. I'm just want to give you some information that it'll just, as a seed, I want to be a little gardener, throw a little seed in the back of your subconscious. No one can make you feel any way that you don't want to feel. No one has ever made you sad, and no one's ever made you mad. No one's ever made you upset. That's not how the brain works. That's just the BS you've been programmed with. Now, tune out or open your heart and be ready for something that made a huge impact for me when I got it. That's not how the brain works. Your brain hears words, interprets the words, processes the words, gives the words meaning, and then responds and reacts to the words. It happens in less than a second. But because you're not taught that you did that to yourself, what's happening is somebody says words, a second later you're triggered and upset. They must have done it to me. Never happened. You did that to you, and that's how good your brain is, because you get to be upset. If I said words to you in an English language that were sexist, racist, oppressive, this and that, whatever, you'd respond a certain way. If I said the same exact words to you in a language that you don't understand, you'd respond different because you're the one that chooses how to respond. No one ever made anybody upset. We make ourselves upset. You can choose to be responsible and powerful, or you can choose to give that responsibility up and away, and you're going to be upset for the rest of your life when everybody does this and everyone does that. And they did this to me and they did that. The child is being disrespectful and rude to me. No, they're just being them. It's hard. It's hard when you've been programmed to listen to your brain your whole entire life. It's hard to understand that it's been lying to you the whole time. And to connect with your heart and to listen to your heart and your gut help you make decisions from now on. And it's like you won't even recognize yourself once you get into this win-win world. And this is the stuff that I love just having teachers just I've been doing this. I was stuck. I love working with parents. I don't know. I just thought after the baby, after this, after that. And I can't even imagine how many conversations I've had with parents that were just given the wrong medication by someone because of being misdiagnosed. And then they think it's the kid doing something.
Mm,
It's not, that their body's responding differently. And the kid's just being the kid.
indeed. Indeed. Where do we find behavior mastery? Where can we locate your program?
Sure. Behavior Mastery Academy.com. I'll say it again, slower, because I talk fast. I don't know if you noticed. Behavior Mastery Academy.com is the online course. And if you're ever interested in having a conversation about maybe having a lot of parents, maybe if you're in a homeschool organization or a pod that has a lot of parents that want to do something, I offer workshops and trainings. But that's where they can see my videos first. If you're one of these people that like to see like intricate information and a lot of words and stuff like that, if you want to go into more depth, behaviormasterysystem.com. Behavior Mastery Academy is where the online course is, and you can do a free preview. And you still get a lot with the free preview because I just want you to get something. It's if people just get win-win, oh, you should definitely go on there because I think we also talk about expectations, which is another one of these brain traps because we as humans, I'll leave a cliffhanger. We as humans create expectations for other people and ourselves. When we notice the other person isn't fulfilling the expectation that they don't know anything about, we're automatically programmed to get upset at them. And if you change one word, and we say the word should. So when you say the word should, he should be this way, he should be that way. All your brain's doing is being right, giving you dopamine, making you upset, and lying to you. So then you go to Behavior Mastery Academy, take the free preview, and you'll learn what word you can use to replace should so that life becomes happier and more joyous.
Nice, nice. Social medias?
Oh, I sent you, I don't know if can I share screen? I don't know if can I do that?
No, well, it'll be all in the description of the
Oh, okay.
podcast itself
I
too.
emailed you right before. It's a page that just has all 5 of the social media. I mean, I'm on everything other than TikTok. I can't be part of an app that intentionally destroys our kids' brains while over there it has the most beautiful science, nature, art. Look at the TikTok if you have your kids on there because it's detrimentally just destroying you intentionally, and it's still allowed to be here. So yeah, YouTube. Look up my name anywhere. Ron Schwali, Shuali. We post 6 times a week videos from us teaching kids to workshops, trainings. I have a whole nother world that I have for how to get rid of pain because for my personal training days, how to get rid of like lower back pain, neck pain, carpal tunnel pain, sciatic pain, knee pain, and all the videos are on my YouTube channel for free. I'm not charging. Just go on there because if you're working with your kid or something, all of a sudden you have to chase after them and you feel a jolt in your back or you feel a twitch or something, all of a sudden you're going to be upset and your brain's going to go, well, it's the kid's fault because they made me chase them. It's like, you chose to chase them. You have a fenced in
Indeed.
yard. They weren't hopping it. You could let them just run. Probably let them run anyway.
What's three things that you would like to leave our parents, our listeners with, in regards to, I guess, children? Um, that's your focus. So,
Notice, notice whenever you're talking to your child and you feel anything other than love. And that's number one. Just notice so you can break the pattern. You get what you get, oh, okay, donut boy. I don't know. Remember me, donut boy, whatever. I don't care. Like you get what you get. Are you making good choices? What did I just anytime you feel like you're doing something and you have that in your body, it's not just coming from love. If you can just catch yourself, that's beautiful. Changing it, doing something else. I'm not even asking you to do that. That's an amazing human being to change your behaviors. Um, Number two, whenever your brain says words to you, I got this from this one guy, a speaker, Kevin Hines, who tried to unalive himself, as the kids say, off the San Francisco Bridge, and he survived. And now he talks at mental health organizations. And he says, your thoughts are just your thoughts. Your thoughts don't have to become your actions. Your thoughts can just stay your thoughts. So, one thing that you can do, and I'll give this to you, is whenever you have a thought that you want to leave your head, ask yourself, and ready, do this right now. Ask yourself this question. I wonder what my next thought will be. Ask yourself this question right now. Ready, set, go.
oh, out loud or in my head?
In your brain, ask yourself, I wonder what my next thought will be. And you at home doing this, do it too. Okay, what happens?
There was no thought.
What's that?
There was no thought. I kind of repeated that
Yeah,
twice.
it goes quiet. How great is that? I mean, there's
Yeah.
people that I see like this because it finally shut up after 20 years because it's too busy being right. When you put your body into a state of wonder, the brain shuts off, the heart opens up. I wonder what my next thought will be. Instead of being righteous, I wonder what I'm going to have for dinner in 2 weeks. It just takes you somewhere else instead of being right and your brain getting dopamine. So use that sentence if you feel yourself. Oh, and the third one is take a cold breath. Take your tongue, put it behind the back of your bottom teeth like this, and then just breathe in with your mouth. One more. Tongue behind the back of your bottom teeth and breathe in with your mouth. And you feel that cooling sensation? So that cooling sensation is the line of demarcation, as some people say, where you can now choose to continue being right, getting dopamine and making your child wrong, or just stopping, taking a breath and going, they are who they are. They are who they are. That's it.
Indeed. The easier route.
Oh, and get some sleep. Another one is put the nightlight app on your phone so that after 6 o'clock it shuts off all blue light so it doesn't trick your brain into thinking that the sun's out. And then all your stories about being tired the next day and then you blame the kids. No, it's because you're swiping on your phone for 2 hours on the bowl because you can't stop because you're addicted to dopamine. And it's horrible. Swiping and they with these cell phones, they got us good. Oh, they got us so good. Good thing they're going to go away soon. They're being planted into our contact lenses and stuff. Oh,
Wow, Ron, you definitely have given people some things to think about. Definitely. And
awesome.
I appreciate that. Always. So I appreciate you, and you will be, and I feel like this will be posted before the Miami Expo. You will be at the Miami Expo, so that's exciting.
Yes.
Looking forward to the energy. All right. So families, you have heard it. Like, hey, all the things you have been programmed to think or feel or believe, you cannot. You
Sorry.
can unprogram it. Like you cannot be programmed. No, you can unlearn, relearn. Unlearn, relearn. We always have that option. So the choice is always yours, not shaming anyone, and the choices that they make, just understand that there are choices, other choices that you can make. And happy family, happy life. I don't know if that's a saying or not, but I feel like that
It is now.
works. Yes. It definitely pays for everyone around you to be happy. And it definitely starts with you being happy with yourself. So just figure out your triggers, figure out what works, what doesn't work, but definitely a lot of self-reflection. I talk about all the time with the homeschool world. A lot of self-reflection is needed to be joyous in the position that you've been selected to play. So, you know, breathe easy, homeschool your kids.
I appreciate you. Yay, thank you for letting me be on here.
Of course.
See you in Miami.